9th together. On the other side, the Rams are in their first Super Bowl since 2001. We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst and former Pro Bowl receiver, T.J Houshmanzadeh. Good to have you with us.
Way to go.
Thanks for being here. So, I'm guessing you heard these two, their picks from earlier today. Shannon went with the Rams. Skip going with the Patriots.
I'm going with Tom Brady. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Just to be clear about that.
Tom Brady
is not a team.
No,
you can't just pick the one guy.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what TJ has to say. Who are you going with Sunday?
Oh man, I'm with Shannon on this one. I'm going with the Rams. Yeah. And disclaimer, I've picked against the Patriots every game so far, so that's not saying too much. But I just look at it as I see the score being. I actually think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Rams win 34-24.
Really, by 10?
Yeah. You got to take away the Patriots run game. You cannot allow them to run the ball. They've come out against the Chargers and the Chiefs in first drive. They pretty much showed you what we're going to do. We're going to pound you. We're going to keep the ball away from this offense. And Wade Phillips is not going to allow Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, Josh McDaniels to just run the ball. And you got to make them one-dimensional. Okay. And I see them doing that. You got four first-round picks on D-line. You got Michael Brockers, Aaron Donald, and Ndamukong Suh, and Dante Fowler. Those four guys got to show why they were top of the first-round picks. They have to make Tom Brady hitch, hold the ball, slide left or right. They can't do that. It's going to be a long game.
That make you feel any better, Shannon?
I have trust in Wade Phillips because I agree with you, TJ. The way to win this ball game, the Chargers and Kansas City let the Patriots have whatever they wanted. They didn't stop the run, and they didn't get any pressure. Well, because if you can't stop the run, it's kind of hard because you don't want to try to get upfield because they're gashing you in that aspect. But what I like about what I've seen from the Rams is while they was giving up 5.1 yards per carry in the regular season, that's down to 2.3, and they shut down two top 5 running games in the Cowboys and the Saints in back-to-back weeks. I don't believe the Patriots running game is as dominant as those two running games. But what those two teams didn't have is Tom Brady. I'm going to put the ball, and I feel it's like it's sacrilegious to say this. I want the ball in Tom Brady's hand, 30, and they run it 30, they got zero chance of winning this game.
You can't give them both. You have to take some away, and it's crazy when you look at the Patriots, just how successful they are year in and year out with what they have. And it's what you have to make Tom Brady beat you via the air. And it's not so much that you're putting the game in Tom Brady's hands. You're saying his receivers aren't good enough to consistently beat us snap after snap after snap.
TJ, you and Mr. Sharp will not learn your lesson. You both picked against him twice already, and he played, to me, some of the highest level playoff football I have ever seen him play. I don't think he's ever been better than he was against the Chargers and certainly at the Chiefs when they went 13 for 19 on third down against two of the best pass rushes, two better pass rushes than the Rams have as far as just getting to the quarterback. The Rams have a better D-line, and it should be able to take away the run. It should put the game in Tom Brady's hands. I just don't think that's a good thing for either of you two because he will figure out a way over time to beat this defense. I think he will slowly but surely pick this defense apart. And if you take Sony Michel away or Rex Burkhead, and by the way, they closed the game with Burkhead, not with Sony Michel. That's their closer. I think that the Rams will have their way with Belichick's defense. I think they'll be playing Madden, and I think Brady will just keep playing chess. And whatever you take away, it will open something else up. And I don't know, some other receiver's going to have a big game because I think Wade will say, you just can't have Julian Edelman at will, like Kansas City.
That's what they did with Michael Thomas.
Better interceptors. He called them two of the best in NFL history as a combo because Marcus Peters, again, he's a cluer and he'll blow some coverages, but if he guesses right, he will go the other way with the football, and so can Talib. And Talib was obviously a Patriot, so he got to practice against Tom Brady. So this is Brady's biggest challenge. But I think some other receiver will start to hurt you. And I don't love his receiving core overall. I think Gronk's just a shell of himself. But Philip Dorsett could have a big game. He could get behind the Rams a couple times. I don't love the Rams' safeties. I think they're vulnerable at safety. I think Chris Hogan could sneak behind you once or twice for big plays. So, again, Brady has to win the game of keep away. Like he won it was 44 minutes to 21 minutes at Kansas City because of the overtime. But in this case, 35-25 because his defense is not very good. This is the worst supporting cast he's taken to.
But if the Rams are able to prevent the Patriots from running the ball, that time of possession will not be. It won't be in the favor of the Patriots just because they're just running the ball. The key is too. Todd Gurley must have 20 touches. It doesn't matter how he gets them. He needs to touch the ball 20 times. I don't know what happened against the Saints. I don't know if he was hurt or they just really felt like Anderson was doing a better job.
That's what happened.
Todd Gurley needs to touch the ball 20 times. 15 carries, 6 or 7 receptions. He has to touch the ball 20 times.
And the thing is, Skip, the thing why you want Brady to throw the ball, look, the running backs don't fumble. At least when Brady puts the ball up, I can get a tip pass here. I can get a carom off a guy's shoulder pass and get a pick. Michelle doesn't put the ball on the ground. Those running backs don't fumble the ball. So if you don't shut up their run and they somehow ended up with 30 rush attempts, 35 rush attempts, 150, 200 yards. For 285 yards and 3 touchdowns. They'll get blown. If they give the Patriots.
But and the Rams can get pressure without blitzing. And so you'll have extra guys in coverage. The passes they're completing against the Chiefs, where it's 2-man, the Chiefs are playing, and Edelman keeps going across the middle, that's not going to be there for the Rams. They're not going to play 2-man. They're going to man you up. They're going to have a robber in the middle of the field. So they're going to force you to do different things. They're going to press the receivers. So now Tom Brady has to hold the ball a split second longer. They can get that pass rush up the middle. It's really, if they double Aaron Donald and Dominican Suez, you don't have to sack Tom Brady. Make him feel you. He has to be able to smell you. He throws the ball. You touch him so that he knows you're there and gets him a little antsy.
Have you seen any decline in Tom Brady this year because of age?
No. Tom
you.
Brady is Tom Brady, he still looks the same. He throws the ball the same. He's better because he's more mature mentally, smarter mentally. Now, there's no decline in Tom Brady at all.
Yet you are going to bet against him.
Yeah, the only guy that I trust offensively as a receiver is Julian Edelman. And that, I just don't believe the way they took Michael Thomas out of the game, they're going to do the same thing with Edelman and say, Brady, you're going to have to go to somebody else. And everybody, this is a team game. Julian Edelman is a team player, but he's going to get frustrated if he's not getting the ball. This is super. He will be frustrated.
TJ, let me ask you if you think about this. I would take Aqib Talib, and I would put him on. I'll put him on Chris Hogan, and I would roll coverage to Edelman and Gronk.
I would do that as well. You have. I don't know if I would put him on Hogan because I feel like that's a waste. How many targets? I don't believe they're going to throw the ball more than 5 times to Chris Hogan.
Shannon,
so,
what are you talking about? Chris Hogan?
I think
Aqib Talib? He'd be bored. What would he do?
It will be
because that way I can take my coverage and I can neutralize him. You're not going to throw him any targets. Now I can take these 2 men. I can double Gronk. I can double Edelman.
Yeah, but Talib will be eating popcorn on the field, right?
That's okay.
Yeah.
You can do that, but you're going to have to mix it up because when you start moving Talib around, you're pretty much telling Tom Brady and McDaniels what type of coverage you're in. And so now it starts to get too easy for Brady. Okay, this is what they've done. The previous times he's done this, okay, I'm expecting this now. So you're going to have to mix it up, mainly man-to-man. That's what Wade Phillips plays. And you just gotta hope that the DBs can slow the receivers down at the line of scrimmage and that defensive line can just get Tom Brady a little antsy.
So I got a question for both of you. Tom Brady has played in 8 Super Bowls. Has he played a bad one? Seriously.
I mean, the first one wasn't great.
Yeah, but
he was young.
Hey,
he played
the last
well.
drive, the field goal drive. Go back and look at what he did. Go look at the passes he completed to set up the 49-yard field goal.
Well, here's the thing, Skip. The first 3.5 quarters of the Atlanta game, he was horrible.
And then?
Atlanta
plays
gave him
well.
the game.
Oh, gave him the game.
I was just watching some 3rd and 1 and Atlanta throws the ball. 3rd and 1, they throw the ball. Fumble. Matt Ryan fumbles the ball to Patriots. I mean, it was...
In the fourth quarter and overtime against Atlanta, Tom Brady threw for 246 yards. That's a game. That's like a pretty good game for most quarterbacks. 246 and 2 touchdowns.
Tom Brady can have a good game.
Right.
He can throw for 350 yards. You just can't allow them to run for over 120.
You can't let him run for 150.
That's the key. He can throw the ball. You just can't give them both.
I keep saying this will be Tom Brady's greatest Super Bowl challenge, and when he wins, which he will, it will be his greatest achievement because paper, the Rams are clearly the better team, and that's what you're going with, right?
I'm going with those guys up front. I mean, things can come full circle. Super Bowl 36, that was Bill Belichick's and Tom Brady's first Super Bowl against the Rams.
Cool.
Would this be their last Super Bowl win against the Rams, or will it be their last Super Bowl loss against the Rams? So I see it being a loss. That defensive line, they got to show up. They got to show up.
That pressure only works if your back end can hold up and give you an extra tick to get there. Because if you let Brady throw the ball to his first option, which is normally Edelman, or swinging the ball out of the to a running back, you got no chance. You got to make him clutch it.
So in the 2 playoff games, Tom Brady has gotten rid of the ball in an average of 2.1 seconds, and he just flat out wore out the pass rushes of the Chargers and the Chiefs, where they got to the fourth quarter and they were just gassed because you know how hard it is to try to get to the quarterback with all your might, and then you fall short and you fall short and you get there late and you get there late, and finally by the fourth quarter, you're just out of it. And Joey Bosa said in the fourth quarter to Tom Brady, quit throwing it so fast.
But what did Shannon just say? If you go back to the Chargers and the Chiefs, that secondary, the back end, they're playing off coverage. You got to get up and press the Patriots. That messes up the timing. Now the ball's not coming out on time. You got to pat the ball and say, okay, let's see how this release is. Oh, he didn't get a clean release. Now I got to go to this read. The Chargers and the Chiefs, they just played off coverage, free release. You got to get up and press those guys and mess that timing up. Throw it off.
So by your strategy, it sounds like Brady's going to have his worst ever Super Bowl game because he's going to have no run game and no open receivers. So
I mean, those guys.
No. That's not what we're saying. We're saying you must take the run game away. Okay. Skip, I told you in the opening segment that Tom Brady's probably going to have 450 plus. You can live with that. But what you can't live with is Tom Brady having 300 and 150 to 200 yards rushing.
You can't lose both. You have to take something away.
I'll tell you what I can't live with is Bill Belichick giving up another 41 points in a Super Bowl. That's what I can't live with.
Because Skip, think about this. The most passing yards in a postseason game in history, the team lost in which the quarterback threw for 500 in a playoff game. And that was Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And even though they ran the ball, Skip, they were behind. They didn't get enough touches. They still was over 100 yards.
Yeah, but there's a big asterisk on that game because the best.
It ain't no asterisk on no game.
Yeah, the best cornerback for the New England Patriots was mysteriously doghouse. He didn't play a snap. Malcolm Butler didn't play.
That baffled me as well, but the way he played this year, you make Belichick look like a genius.
I thought he played pretty well down the stretch this year. That's
yeah, the last month of the season.
Yeah.
Okay, TJ, it has been great to have you. Thank you for joining us today. Guys, is Jason Garrett on his way out in Dallas? I need to hear what Skip has to say about